Welcome to Property Deconstructed here at the Tell Your Story Media Studios, and my guest and really the host, also co-host, but the man driving the show is Mark Errichiello from Master Advocates. Hi there, Mark.
Hey, Pat. Great to see you again, and great and at your new studio here in Yarraville as well.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Co-host, please. You've been a fantastic producer and helping us produce this podcast over a few years.
Pleasure.
So, a pleasure to be here for Property Deconstructed, another episode.
And what do we say? It's a collective get-together where we share knowledge when it comes to property and buying property, selling property, and really, all the lifestyle issues that are around real estate and the emotion there too. Yeah,
certainly. Collective wisdom with things relating to property and real estate, and sharing not just from property professionals, but other related services. Over the years, people come with different experience, different expertise and knowledge that we can bring together and learn from.
Speaking of that, we've got him on Zoom. I can see him right there. Yes. So we have a special guest who's been very patient. We're set up and ready to roll. Mark, tell us who we're talking to today.
Yeah, we've actually got Michael Siu, who's a mortgage broker and director of his own Mortgage Choice business. But Michael's got a wealth of knowledge and experience. He's been a property investor that I've known for some time. He's been a property investor over 20 years himself. But he's also, quite humble. He doesn't always share his experience, background, and expertise. But he was a chartered accountant, also a lawyer in a Big Four firm, and also a top-tier national law firm practice in the past history as well.
So he's going to share all those secrets today, aren't you, Michael? Those red-hot secrets he's been sitting on forever are coming out today.
Some golden nuggets of information, but also his wealth management and superannuation and retirement expertise. But today, talking about structuring loans and better ways to manage loan repayment, not just for investment. The principles apply, but I'll stop talking. I'll let Michael speak a little bit as well. But Michael, thanks so much for coming onto the show and preparing some great visuals as well.
Yeah, hi Pat, hi Mark. Thanks for that kind introduction. Great to be here. I'm really excited to be talking about a topic that's really dear to my heart. And you would have seen the title for the presentation that I'm looking to share with everybody. It's A Loan No More, a smarter way to pay off your mortgage. Because what I find is, I'm really passionate about helping people build their wealth through property. And, I've been, as you may have mentioned, I'm a property investor myself for over 20 years. But I think what I've seen time and time and again when I've met with people, the biggest roadblock for them is they're actually their own mortgage, right? It's the biggest expense for them. It's the biggest stress factor. And it's the biggest barrier that they face because they just feel so overwhelmed about how do I pay down this mortgage? And so what I'd like to share today is a smarter way to pay down a mortgage.
Great,
exciting.
Yeah, it is, and great play on words as well. So it's
a smarter way, and we can see the presentation here, and our viewers and. We're going to podcast this as well, but you'll talk out the presentation. So that is a big stress, isn't it? You two guys know about that. Paying down that mortgage, that's freedom. If you can do that, you're on another level. That's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. And the expenses that come with not just buying established homes, but new homes, and the taxes and the repayments and interest. It's a big chunk for the first period. So, Michael, I'll let you take us through your process.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you mentioned that the title, A Loan No More, it is a bit of a pun, a play on words, but really what I like to emphasize when I do speak to my clients is actually you are not alone. You can surround yourself with professionals like yourself, Mark, a buyer's agent, like myself with as a broker, with your tax accountant and so forth, because it's critical when you do surround yourself. I think that's really the first stepping stone to success. So, why don't we kick off? So I'll go to the slide here to give an example to bring it to life. So just say you've got a loan, $800,000 loan at 6% interest rate, which is roughly the interest rate it is at the moment. So based on that interest rate, you're paying $4,700 a month. Okay, so to give you an idea how long it'll take you to pay off that loan at $4,700 a month, to get down to $600,000, it's going to take you close to 17 years. To get down to $400,000, it'll be about another 5 years. And then finally, you'll pay it off after about 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I see on social media, there's lots of posts from various professionals and people and influencers. They talk about different ways to pay down the home loan, right? But essentially, they boil down to two factors. First factor, the interest rate. So if you can get a lower rate, that will help accelerate your repayments of your home loan. Second one is basically putting all of your savings into your home loan, all your hard-earned cash, putting it into your home loan to reduce your balance, right? But that essentially means you're having to work harder, okay? Work really hard to get all your spare savings into that home loan. And so you think about it, right? So you're working for a big company, and each year you try and get a promotion or you get a pay rise. And what's that pay rise looking like? Could be 2, 3, 4%. And you've seen a lot of essential workers over the years, teachers, policemen, nurses, and so forth, having to go on strike to get even a decent pay rise. It could mean you're having to work overtime, juggling jobs, 2, 3 jobs, right, to get that pay, to get that increase of savings into the home loan.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? Okay, so if I go to the next slide.
Yeah, and cost of living, especially now, the pressures there on households, it's even more important to be savvy with your structuring.
Oh, 100%, right? So then if you did put more money into the home loan, so let's say you increase your home loan repayment from 4,700 to 5,500, that's an $800 increase. So it's about 17%. A 17% increase in your repayments, about $200 a week. And remember, we just spoke about, your pay increases 2, 3% each year. It's not going to really cut it. So imagine if you did manage to pay down your home loan, right? With those increased payments. So 800 down to 600, it's a little bit quicker. It takes you 9 years. 400,000 down to 400,000, taking you out to 15 years. Overall, it's going to take you about 22 years. So it is a bit of a saving, right? So you reduced your home loan from 30 years down to just over 22 years. So that's not bad, but you are definitely working harder to get your home loan down.
If you're capable of getting that income as well.
Well, there's that as well. Yeah, you're tipping more into the repayments. Okay, so if you have some extra cash there, is that, I guess you're about to reveal more here, putting the money into the mortgage is a smart thing to do, is what I'm hearing there, and paying more if you can.
Well, it is smart to a certain extent, but you're working harder.
Right.
So you're working harder to be able to pay down your loan. What I'm going to suggest now is a smarter way to be able to get your loan balance down in a much quicker way.
Great.
All right. And this may sound counterintuitive, because what I'm going to tell the viewers is actually take on more debt, okay? To take on more debt to pay down that mortgage. Now, debt generally is seen as a dirty word, but if you use it in the right way, it can be a really powerful tool to build wealth. So let me show you, right, the big reveal. So to the next slide. Let's say now, when I said you take on more debt to buy another property, an investment property, let's just say, for example, it's a $700,000 property.
Yes.
It's 100% financed, so you're financing it with all of it being financed by the bank's money, and we take out an interest-only loan, right? And the reason we're doing interest-only is to maximize the tax deductions. And the rate of interest-only is roughly around 6.2% at the moment, okay? So the intention here is to watch the value of that property grow over time, and that at some point you use the profits that you make on that property when you sell it to pay down your home loan balance. Now, Mark, you're a buyer's agent, right? So you're
Correct.
Really knowledgeable in this field. Generally, when you talk to your clients, after how many years would you expect a high quality property to double in value?
Look, history doesn't always repeat itself, and there's nuances in different suburbs, but between that 5 to 10 year mark is where you should start to see some significant improvements in the growth, and most municipalities that are established in Victoria, and in Melbourne, have seen that growth. If you look at the data over the last decade, some even saw triple growth, which was abnormal, and we had lockdowns and other events contribute to that. But looking around that 10-year mark.
Okay. Well, why don't we be ultra conservative and say it doubles after 15 years? And so 15 years, around 5% per annum growth, right? So we'll be even more conservative.
Yes.
Okay, so what that means is after 15 years, it's doubled in value. What I'd be suggesting is you could sell that property and take the profits, right? And so when I say take the profits, that's paying back the original loan. You take into account the fact that you've paid stamp duty on the original purchase. You've got tax, capital gains tax on the sale of the property, right? And for the purpose of this, I've assumed the top marginal tax rate as well. And you've got to pay the agent's fees and all the other transaction costs associated with the sale. And so what you're left with will be just under $600,000. And you can see here, that's where the payoff point is, where you'd be able to pay off your home loan. So you'd be paying off the home loan in just under 17 years, right, compared to 30. Okay.
Leveraging off the equity.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Right. That's right. And look,
there's a big that's the penny drop for me there, right? Because I'm sort of, you guys, it's your world, and I'm here sort of to learn and ask those questions. So there you are. You're using that leverage from the equity from that property you've purchased, interest free. You described how we do that. It doubles in 15 years, or the value goes up, and you flip that or you sell that to then pour it back into the original mortgage, and you're paying off your home loan. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. That's right.
Getting on the road to property investment, you've got to, the selection, it's so crucial that you select the right property.
There's a few variables in that.
Because there's so many properties that don't get growth, and this is why Michael knows the certain assets that he's probably experienced investing in over time.
I feel like Michael's going to say more there. You're right. Yes. I'm jumping in. But there you are. Mark is answering my question there. Okay, area and growth in the property, but also maintaining that new loan in the meantime as well. There's that challenge too. You've got to pay off the bank in the meantime as well there, Michael.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll come to that, and I'll show you some magic around that as well.
It's magic.
And what I wanted to show so I wanted to show you as well, Mark spoke about properties doubling in value, say, after 10 years, right? And so if that actually arises, this is even better, okay? What will happen then is that you can pay off the home loan in less than half the time. So from 30 years down to under 13 years. And that's assuming doubling in value after 10 years, right? And so the question often comes up, well, if it's that simple, why don't people just do it, right? And you as well will know this, Mark. Often it comes down to procrastination. People just think, I'll leave it for next year, I'll leave it for the year after, I'll wait for, whatever crisis, the tech bubble, after the tech bubble back in the early 2000s, then there's a global financial crisis. Then there was the Asian crisis. Then you've got the COVID, and now more recently, I guess you've got the Trump trade, which is causing a bit of havoc.
The tariffs.
People procrastinate. Always find a reason.
Well, it's never a good time. It's that one, isn't it?
Well, you're never going to be completely ready, and timing. There's so many unforeseen effects, but over time, you'll always see some sustainable growth if you select the right asset to begin with.
Right,
is my experience. I don't see anyone over a 10 or 20 year period that's regretted buying the right type of asset. Definitely some assets too high density or too high rise and apartment classes sometimes can certainly suffer as one example.
It's mostly pretty safe with real estate. I know we're not here to, but that's what they
as
say.
Long-term
gain in our country, and the current the way it is. Anyway, but you're right. You're going to make the right selection there. Procrastination's a big one that slows you down. And for me, I'm thinking, okay, it's a good idea, but going to the bank and going through all that heartache with the bloody banks, back and forth, that puts me off. It's another big job. But anyway, it's worth going down the road, of course.
Yes. Michael and Pat, sorry, but I was going to say we've actually unpacked probably a little bit more in this initial episode. But I know that Michael, you mentioned you're going to lead into some magic tips there. Yeah. Would you be able to join us for an additional episode if we come back shortly and unpack a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah,
okay.
Terrific.
Excellent. All right, this is Property Deconstructed. Mark Errichiello is here from Master Advocates. Michael Siu is also with us from Mortgage Choice. I'm Pat Panetta. And that magic, how do you service these loans, or a bit more advice on how you can make this happen for you? That'll be the next episode, Mark.
Yes, we're going straight back into it.
After this.